Happy Thursday to all of you out there in social media world. This is Brother Dana coming to you from Chicago. Before I go on with what I want to kind of share, I just want to give an absolute thank you to all of my Hebrew brothers and sisters that since I put out that last video, Which Way Should I Go? The love and the support and the affirmation that I got from so many of you through emails, even some calls, only again goes to show why I stick with you, because you're beautiful people. You have the ability to love your enemy, because for generations, 400 and plus years, myself and my ancestors have been your enemy. And yet, when you have the opportunity to leave me ignorant or to leave me in pain or in want or need of the truth, you pour out your love in a way to direct me. And that is such a blessing to receive, knowing who you are, and now really knowing who you are. So again, I say thank you to all of you that have encouraged me and sent what you have over these past few days. Tonight, I want to start off also with a blessing that actually gave me what I'm going to give you tonight. But I was got a little hungry, so I have one fast food restaurant kind of right here in my neighborhood, and that's a Taco Bell, and it's an excellent Taco Bell. I don't go a lot, try to stay away from the fast food, but every time I have gone, you know, it's so professionally and just so well done, just young people, and it blesses my heart. And so tonight was no exception to that rule. And so I came around, and the young lady, I mean, she was just so professional. She was incredible. And I decided, you know, every time that happens, that I always want to get a manager to compliment the store and then compliment the young lady. And so I said, young lady, I said, can you please go get me your manager? You know, I tried to say it as nice as possible. And she was like, oh, yeah. Because I know what was going through her mind. Yeah, this white guy's coming in to say something negative. And the manager came back, and, you know, she came back confidently, but I could tell she was also prepared for something not so nice. And I said, ma'am, I said, you know, and I gave a compliment of the store, and I said, you know, every time I have gone through drive-through and stuff, I said, everybody that answers and speaks to us repeats things, and they're incredible, kind, even sometimes late night when you're ready to go home, kind. And I said, but tonight there was an exception, and the girl, I shouldn't have done that, but I didn't mean to do that, but the girl was behind the manager, was like, oh my God, I know it's about me. And when I said that, she was like, oh, it's about me. I said she was above being exceptional. And she got this smile on her face. And they gave me the receipt, and they said that on the receipt I can go and put in a good word for her. And so the manager said, thank you, sir, thank you. You know, make note of that and make note of the store. And so the young lady came back out, and she gave me her food, and I said, young lady, I said, I'm proud of you and a great job. And it could have been like one of those in those commercials. You know, she kind of reached out the window and was like, thank you, sir. But I'm sharing that story because after I was done, the Most High gave me something of a vision that He's given me for years, an explanation of it. I was so high on feeling so blessed to be able to be a person, to see this young black young lady, and able to say to myself, she might be one Hebrew queen. And so therefore, I need to treat her like a Hebrew queen or princess at this age. And so when I see the young men and the people out in my neighborhoods Before I knew who you were, I saw them as beautiful individuals. But now that beauty has been defined even more so, to know that it's because you're the precious chosen people of the Most High. And that's why when I see the guys out on the street corners, I try not to look at their behavior to judge who they are. They just don't know it. And so, Most High, what can I do to be used by you to help them realize who they are? Because when they do, I believe their lives will begin to be transformed very quickly. And so it blessed my heart tonight to be able to have the God-given ability of this revelation to know who I am living amongst, who I have been living amongst, who I've always been loving, but now understand even more so your beauty that causes me just to love you that much more. But years and years ago, I have these visions, that the same vision, but would always come up. And it was just a vision of people dancing and praising Yah. Let me put this back now. God. That I can't put it in words because it was so incredible. And every time I would get this vision to come back into my mind, literally it would cause me to almost weep and long for that. They're just long for what I'm seeing in that vision. And so throughout the years, before I realized what I do now, I've always loved God and sought after Him. And I was thinking, well, maybe at one point, in my Christian walk, I might be a pastor of a church or, this and that. And we would be rejoicing in the way that this video, or this vision, was showing me. And so along the way, you get to moments in your relationship and the Most High does something and it blesses you and you rejoice, but there was something that still wasn't adding up to this vision and the rejoicing and the beauty. Even though I can't pick out anything specific of colors, it was just beautiful. And so, of course, my mind turns that into earthly things and thinking, okay, it's church, it's this, it's that. But nothing I've ever experienced in my life thus far in seeking after the Most High desperately. I now realize why I haven't experienced it. Because what's about to happen, the world has never, ever seen before. And that is a rejoicing that will even be greater than the shout of rejoicing that took the walls of Jericho down. Because the rejoicing that the Most High, that I know who He is now, in that vision He gave me, was the rejoicing of individuals who have their true, correct identity back and are in their promised land, free of bondage. That's why I haven't experienced this vision. Because this vision of the beauty that I can't put in words, of the worship that would even, when, like I said, I'd get that vision and it would tear up my eyes and it would affect me. And that's why I've been longing, Father, what must be done to have that type of rejoicing? And tonight, after I spoke to that young lady, and I was just blessed to know who she possibly might be, but who you really, and who you that know who you are. He then showed me this vision, and that vision will happen like Deuteronomy chapter. And then he took me to Deuteronomy chapter 16, verses 11 and 12. And thou shalt rejoice before Yah, thou and thy son and thy daughter and thy manservant and thy maidservant, and the Levite that is within thy gates, and the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow that are among you, in the place which Yah hath chosen to place His name there. And thou shalt remember that thou wast a bondman in Egypt, and thou shalt observe and do these statutes. He also showed me that you're rejoicing because you now have your correct identity back outside of the curse. Revelations 19:1 says, "And after these things I heard a great voice of much people in heaven saying, Hallelujah, salvation and glory and honor and power unto Yah." So that encourages me now that the Most High has given me why I've never been able to experience that type of rejoicing and worship that I have been feeling in this vision, is because this is going to happen when you, his chosen people, have their identity back and are now in your promised land, free from bondage and slavery and oppression. So I have to believe that that season is not far off at all, because he's now revealing to me things that I have been questioning him. Number one, why does the world hate my black brothers and sisters so much? And he gave me the answer: because they're my chosen. And there was that vision that he always gave me of the rejoicing that I longed for. And I thought, why haven't I experienced that? Because I knew it was not in heaven, or not at that point, but still here. And now tonight he said, because you haven't experienced it yet, because it won't happen, and it's going to happen when my people get their true and correct identity back in the land of freedom. I thank you again for tuning in. I thank you for all your love and your support. Please connect with me, onelovesociety.love, www.onelovesociety.love. I do have t-shirts, One Love jerseys. They're heavier than a t-shirt. If you're interested, go to my webpage. They are there. But again, I just thank you that the Most High has honored me and blessed me and given me favor to show me who the true chosen people of the Most High really are. And way before I knew that, he had already put a love in my heart for you that I myself could not understand at first, till I started living amongst you. And it's so beautiful and powerful. And then, now knowing who you really are. So until we make connection again, good night and shalom.